Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Blessings. I am Michael Beckwith. I'm the host of Take Back Your Mind podcast, Life Question of the Week. And today, Soraya from London is asking this question. Last month, I discovered my husband has been having an affair for 8 months. Of course, I am devastated, as this is the biggest betrayal I've endured in my adulthood. I don't know how to navigate my feelings and my spirituality throughout it all. What advice can you offer me on how to proceed forward emotionally and spiritually? First of all, let me say, Soraya, my heart goes out to you. You used the word devastated and betrayal. So I can feel that. You're feeling devastated, that you were in a very wonderful marriage, so to speak, and you found out your husband was having an affair with someone. And you're asking how to navigate your feelings through this. First of all, don't sublimate, repress, or suppress any of your emotions. Let them be what they're going to be. Betrayal of someone close is one of the hardest things to forgive. Now, I don't have any information here as to how long you've been married, whether any issues in the marriage, what your conversation with your husband has been like. I don't have any of that information, so I'm just speaking with what I have here, so that you begin to be aware that in many cases, when infidelity comes up in a relationship, whether it's the man or the wife or the husband, it can be a time when the relationship is over, or it can be a time in which there is a rebirth, a renewal of the relationship. I was counseling a couple of years ago who'd been married for a while, and there was some infidelity, and it became a moment of deep introspection, deep, honest conversations about what was working, what wasn't working in the relationship, and the relationship renewed itself. It's been a few years now since that happened, and the relationship is magnificent in so many ways. So an affair doesn't necessarily mean the end of a relationship. It can mean the beginning of a relationship. Like I say, I don't know the ins and outs of the conversation and what has happened pre and post this particular experience. But where you're concerned, you have to come to an understanding that you are all right. You haven't done anything wrong. Don't take on blame. Don't take on fault. He made a decision to go outside of the relationship. That was his decision for whatever reason he had. For you to come back to some balance, you have to come to an understanding that you're okay. There's nothing wrong with you. That's one. You got to take care of yourself. However taking care of yourself looks like, whether that's counseling, whether that's a spiritual practitioner, so that you understand that you're okay. There's nothing wrong with you. One, take care of yourself. Two, there's going to have to be some level of forgiveness. Not condoning what he did, but forgiveness so that you're not carrying the wretched resentment in your own heart that would keep you from living a full life. Those are the two things that must happen. You must take care of yourself, and then you must go through a level of forgiveness, which is not condoning, and it's not saying that the relationship is going to go on. It's a forgiveness for your own heart. And then, of course, there's going to be some honest conversation with your husband as to, is he in love with this woman? Does he want to end the relationship? Do you want to end the relationship? So there's a whole lot of dynamic in there that needs to be played out in honest conversation. But for you, because you're asking, how do you navigate your feelings and your spirituality? You got to take care of yourself, and you have to go through the forgiveness so that you become free inside. These things happen. And for whatever reason they happen. They happen. It's not the end of the world because your husband had an affair. It may be the end of a particular world you are living in so that you can birth yourself into another world. Again, I'm shooting in the dark here, so I don't know whether there was stagnancy in the relationship, whether you had grown apart, or whether you were living under the dynamic of everything was okay. I don't know. These things I don't know. So take care of yourself, forgive, honest conversation. This can be a rebirth, a renewal, or it could mean that this particular part of your life is over. Something is over so that you can move on to the next level of your own unfolding, whether you're married or whether you're not. I've counseled people for years. And I'll tell you one thing I say when they come in, when this has happened. Sometimes it's the woman, sometimes it's the man. I will say, this does not mean the end of the relationship. It can possibly be a new beginning. So I'll say that to you right now, not knowing any of the facts. This does not necessarily mean the end of a relationship. It can be the beginning. You can get closer. If in fact, that's what both parties want. Okay? So I hope that I'm giving some light on this. I want you to feel the depth of love and compassion to find out something like that. Yeah, it can be devastating. I understand. Please take care of yourself. We're holding you in prayer right now. Peace and blessings. Hey, thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to ask a question, please email me at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. And you know what? Your question just might be featured. Have a beautiful and bright day.